Last time on Sword Coast Adventures, the party defeated the green dragon Venomfang. Then they helped the silver dragon Asmioth reclaim her treasure. She helped Icy tap into her power of her dragon's soul, so she can now transform into a silver dragon wormling. She also is able to breathe out um, dragon's breath even in her human form. Rocus claims the reward in Understar for the Dwarven plate armor, which he gives to Jay, which gives him an AC of 22, by the way, and has some armorers use Venomfang scales to upgrade their armor. So now Rocus has an AC of 18, Icy has 19, with all her cloak of protection and other things. Asmioth also gives them the Flag of Forbiddance and Mage Smasher, a what I described last time as a mace, but that was wrong. It should be a Morning Star, which is equivalent to the longsword. So it's actually a viable thing that Harvek could use. The party returns to Tribor to repay their debts and find Darathra to be a potential ally. And you guys made friends and basically made up for your misgivings, wrongdoings. The party then returned to Neverwinter to plan for the final battle with Xanaphia and the ATC. So today we start the session. Everyone is in a very large meeting of Blizzard, and everyone's discussing what's the best way to take down the ATC. So, ideas of infiltrating and spying on the ATC have been talked about. People have discussed the idea of gathering allies, and yeah, trying to find out what Xanaphia's goals might be. So, in this meeting, is there any of the allies who are here between the Church of Tyr, the people of Neverwinter, such as the Lord Neverember and the wizard Magnus, would be at this meeting as well. The representatives from the Emerald Enclave, like Faxina and actually Darathra from Tribor, who you guys have made friends with, has shown up too to represent the Harpers. So, any questions you want to ask from your allies before we start the skill challenge?
With the Harpers, I'd like some more information about what the Harpers are and what they do.
Okay, they're just a faction similar to the Emerald Enclave. Their main goal is to stop any one large organization from becoming all powerful, and they think that the ATC is on their way to being uh, way too much consolidated power that would be dangerous for the world.
Do they have any information about the ATC that the Emerald Enclave does not have?
Mm,
Or Xanathia?
no, not really any. In they share their information with everyone, and it doesn't seem that they have anything too much unique, but they're on the same page with you guys. You guys have more information than they did, and you guys share with them the idea that the ATC has manufactured this disease from the mana energy, and that they've been using that to try to incite um, this support of their war against the East. So you guys are more giving them information than them giving you information. But with them as allies, you do have more people around, more people who would be willing to help you with various tasks in taking down the ATC. Okay, any other
Has it,
questions?
Have you seen an increase in ATC, or do you have any idea of the numbers of members of the ATC that are here supporting Xanaphia?
Um, yeah, so I don't have the specific numbers, but they have been recruiting for the war in the east, and within the week they're ready to go to war over there in the eastern kingdoms. Let's see.
So are
There are some Thay, which had previously been known as a uh, magocracy led by necromancers. Um, as far as you guys can tell, the necromancers were defeated, and the ATC is kind of trying to act like they're still active in Thay, but as far as you guys can tell, there's not really much evidence that the necromancers are still in power there. However, the allied countries who have come to support them, it does seem that it's possible that they might have necromancers there. So the ATC is potentially fighting some evil enemies, but you're not totally clear on that. But yes, they've been recruiting more soldiers into the armies and sending them to the east.
so they've actually been leaving Neverwinter.
Um, the ATC's main base is in Waterdeep, so not
Oh,
much support coming from Neverwinter.
okay.
But yeah, maybe some of the common people who want to get a salary as a soldier, they might go down to join the ATC, but that would be through Waterdeep.
Okay.
So what's the name of the place that they seem to have taken over? They think the necromancer may have been defeated. What's the name of that place?
Thay,
Spell it.
Thay.
So if Xanathia was going to make appearance in Neverwinter, would she teleport there?
You guys know that she's capable of that.
I think I would be trying to
What's her name?
find out.
Celise, who's somewhat familiar with that, she says that yeah, she should be able to teleport to any place that she's familiar with about 8 allies.
Okay. Seems to me it'd be a good thing to try to get them to teleport in with that small number of people and just to be ready for them.
Yeah. Maybe someone could pretend to be. Maybe someone could try to become try to convince Xanathia that they're a threat, or not. A threat to Neverwinter, or willing to be a turncoat. Maybe she, try to convince her to come in for a parley.
How about if Zarafin was a supposed hostage?
Well, do they know Zerafin's turncoat yet?
No,
No.
not really. They're kind of confused. They don't know what's with
Maybe we
them.
could. So maybe Zerafin could try to lure her. Work out something where Zerafin tries to lure her somewhere. Meet with her.
Yeah,
What end?
just to have her show up with her people where we're expecting them.
Okay. Now that is different than what you had said before. You said you wanted to get a surprise attack and have her with no allies. But what you're describing now is surprise attack and choosing the location.
You guys good with that?
Yeah.
Seraphim says, you guys had mentioned not hurting innocents and things. I don't think it's a good idea to lure her into Neverwinter if we're gonna try to protect innocents. And
Could you
then the
lure her?
Church of Tears stands up and says, I do not believe that it would be wise to this is the Lord Justicar. He says, I don't believe it would be wise to wage war within the city walls.
How about luring her right where? Tell her that it would be important for her to come back to where the big pit is, where the big fight was, right outside the city. That he's discovered something there or something like that, to try to lure her there.
But she could easily maneuver herself into the city and cause destruction. What if she spreads the mana disease?
You thinking we?
If we can get her, we've got that flag of forbearance or whatever. Once we plant that, she can't leave.
So it's the flag of forbiddance.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. Forbid you to do something. The scientist is very unclear with his terminology when he's talking about
Well, that's
the
because he has
fantasy
to.
world.
Well, it's also because he's on one. He's looking at one thing and hasn't got his list of names. He's trying to remember what it's called.
I've never been given the benefit of not being corrected when I didn't have my notes. I'll tell you that next time I say something wrong scientifically. I'll say, I'm sorry, I don't have my textbook with me.
Ian, it's the flag of whatever.
I'm flipping from page to page is my problem.
All right. I'm just teasing it.
Flag of forbiddance. Okay. But if we can lure if we can lure her somewhere like there, we could plant the flag. That would mean she wouldn't be able to go into the city.
She wouldn't be able to bug out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would make it more difficult. That's sure. But how can you be sure how would you clear? You'd I guess we'd have to put the city on lockdown.
Well, it's right outside. The fight was right outside the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So if he said he'd found something really important that he needs her to go look at or something like that, then she could show up there. If we do that,
in that situation, you'd want to face her in an open field and take away her teleportation ability.
Yeah.
I guess that sounds fine. We'd have to make sure the place we lure her to is significantly further outside the wall.
Right.
They're out there
just attack the city from there.
Back where they had their setup before.
At the ATC Expo?
Because they were...
That's right next to this wall, though. She could just blow a hole in it and run in.
I thought they were off a ways because that big explosion that killed Bill and stuff didn't hurt the wall.
It wasn't a huge explosion. Just blew up a tent.
How far away was it from the wall?
Maybe 100, 200 feet.
Well, on the edge of the blast, another 100 feet out, we can say that they found something significant left over from the event.
Or something that was from the explosion. It blew it away from the city. Would that make a good explanation?
Yeah.
I guess, but and then Celise is chiming in. But we know she's the one who did the explosion. She would know all about it. Why would she? Why would that trick her? She knows what it
Be-
was.
Because there was something that we found that was unexpected, like it had created a rift, and there's a mana leak or something like that.
or the explosion exposed some gems or something. Would that
I
lure
don't.
her?
I think a mana leak.
Mana wouldn't leak from the ground. You'd
Well,
have to have a
that's
mana
what it,
reactor.
well, that's the thing though that it
She knows the
seems to
locations of all mana reactors. There wouldn't be one there.
remember there was a the
Wait,
was
you should have no problem at all. You said, wait a minute. You said that the thing is about 200 feet from the um. It says you said it was about 20,000 square feet. Is what the where the pole is, right?
It would block. You wouldn't have to worry about her teleporting if you plant the flag.
Right, but it also if it's 20,000, that means if she goes to the center of it, that's only 20. Yeah, that would because 200 feet by 200 feet is 40,000 square feet. She'd be in the middle, so that would be just get you right up to the wall.
Um,
I don't really know what you're getting at there at all.
Okay, all right. If it's
I'm not saying she can teleport.
no, you were saying though, but you didn't. You didn't want. We wanted to do it outside, but you said that the problem is she'd be able to knock a hole through the wall.
Hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if she can do that either. I just thinking of potential dangers.
is around Neverwinter, are there any mountains or caves that we could maybe lure her to?
how about the
Sure,
city where the
possibly.
dragon was?
Can I get my answer first?
Yeah, there's plenty of there's forests that you've been through and caves inside. Sure.
Because I think maybe if we Xeraphim, if we say we have him locked up in a cave for for the safety of the city, and he somehow tries to get a hold of Xanaphia to say, "Come and help me." If we could sort of set up a trap in a cave, because then we have the entrance, we have some control over that, and if it's in a cliff, we can be up top and see them coming. And if it's in the forest, we can, sort of be invisible, like use pass without a trace and stuff like that.
If, if she
So
if she thinks she's going to be rescuing Xanathian, though, she's going to come with an army.
oh,
I think we want to make it where she doesn't think she's going to be in a fight.
Well, she teleports.
could Xeraphim say he's found a treasure in the cave? Would she be interested in it?
Something like that, yeah.
Or maybe so at this point in the meeting, let's see, Lord Neverwinter speaks up. He says, "It seems that our main problem here is we don't know what Xanaphia is after. We don't know what she'd be lured in by, or what the ATC is up to. I think we're gonna need we're gonna need someone to infiltrate and get more information before we can do any more planning."
Okay. Well, I talked to the wizard Sid Galewind, and I think he knows quite a bit about her. Maybe he would know what would interest her.
Okay. So yeah, Icy shares with the group about the disgruntled ATC employee Sid Galewind, who he said he worked with her previously and wasn't a fan of Xanaphia.
Could he, if we can get him to be an ally, could he introduce Rocus as an expert stalker and say that he can go look for things? Is there anything that she would like him to go look for? And then if he finds it, whatever it is she's looking for, maybe he could try to lure her in that way.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds potential. If we are able to discover some kind of item or something that she's interested in, that might be a way to lure her somewhere.
That would be a way of
But yeah, currently we don't know much about her motivations.
Well, that's what I'm thinking of is to find out what her motivations are. If we can get Galen to introduce Rocus to her and say, this is a great guy for infiltrating places and stealing things. Then we would find out if she gives him a job. We'll know this is something she's particularly interested in.
I see. Yeah, that seems like potentially useful. And yeah, the people in the meeting, they seem to be agreeing that before drawing up battle plans, we'll have to try to increase our knowledge of the enemy. They say we don't really know what Xanaphia's abilities are, or who she'd want to attack, or if she'd want to flee, or if she'd stand and fight. You have mentioned this flag of forbiddance. It seems that yes, if you can lure her somewhere and plant the flag, that she'd have a hard time to get away from you guys. She would probably be forced to fight in that case. Okay, so we have one of you who would go to try to infiltrate. It was that I see that you wanted to talk to Sid. Anybody else have any ideas for how to get into the ACC?
Well, Harbeck is a fallen paladin, and he's sort of been shunned and all of that. We could also maybe even use that sort of storyline.
I'm still a paladin, though. I'm not going to be able to lie.
Okay.
Or something like that very well.
Okay.
And we're also going to have to be careful about zone of truth.
Okay.
Type things if.
Well, I think I should go and talk to Sid Galewind and see what information he can give me.
I agree.
Things that we want to know about Xanaphia are her habits, her weaknesses, her goals, her motivations, her abilities.
I think that's a great idea.
And Rocus, what would you be doing?
I'd be asking Icy to make me invisible, and then I would ask Dathrith to or Helga to turn into her dragon form and fly me over the ATC so I can drop in and spy to see what sort of infighting's going on, or if there's any schedules for what they do that would be helpful just general information about how to sneak attack or how to sneak attack these people.
Okay.
Well, now
Well,
apparently,
it
although
sounds like you have some ideas here for your first actions. I think we can probably adjourn the meeting and you guys can go do those tasks. Then we'll meet back in 3 days. See what you guys have learned.
Okay, sounds good.
okay, now for Rocus, for infiltration, instead of being invisible, another possibility would be they said that they're recruiting people there for being guards and stuff. Another thing you could do would be to go in there and then uh, become a guard, and then at night when
Guard or
and then
guards.
and then at night, because you don't have to sleep, you could that you could do your snooping. That'd be one way to get in.
Oh, what do you think, Rocus?
As long as I get to use my stealth, I think dropping in invisible, you'd get more access to places that guards wouldn't be able to go.
I think so too. And infiltrating as a guard sounds very time consuming.
Okay. All right, I guess we're ready to go then.
All right. So let's go through. I will. So we're gonna have 3 weeks of this skill challenge. First week has started now. We will roll to see if you guys are successful or if you fail at trying to get information, allies, and other things. So first, let's go ahead and do Rocus's stealth mission. So Rocus goes with Icy and Asmioth, and they fly over the ATC base in Waterdeep. And using the Ring of Featherfall and invisibility and being able to fly, you're able to drop right into the center of their highest security area. And let's have you do your stealth roll with advantage because of your you have all kinds of things to give you advantage, invisibility and your shoes.
Yeah.
So tell me what you got on your number there.
12
12.
plus
Oh.
what? A 12 is what I rolled.
Okay, and then plus you definitely need your pluses on these.
Okay, the plus would be 26.
Okay, how'd you get plus 26?
It's my stealth is 13 plus I get 1 for being with the dragon and a 12. So it's
No, you don't get a
14.
plus for the dragon because Icy's the ally.
Oh,
She's making you
well
invisible.
then 25.
Okay, 25 total.
Yeah.
That is a success. So you only need 5 more successes for the first week of the skill challenge. So you're able to drop in and start spying on your enemy here at the ATC. So you discover that the general people, the general soldiers of the ATC, most of them are in it for the money. They don't seem to have any strong belief in the ATC being good, but there are some that believe that they're fighting against the evil necromancers, and that's one of the main things that keeps the ATC having a positive public image, is that the ATC's long history of fighting the evil necromancers. And you find that over in the east, it seems that they have been taking prisoners for a long time from Thay and using the prisoners as workforce, which they're skirting around slavery laws by having them as in private prisons and then forcing them to work for no pay.
And
But
where is that going on?
over in Aglarond to the east, across the Sea of Fallen Stars. Some people who are aware of this, like, basically racial injustice, as the Fae have a different appearance than the people of the Sword Coast. A lot of people are not feeling comfortable with that stuff. And seems there's rumors that they have camps of these workers who some of them seem to keep getting more and more people into the camps, and the number of people in the camps doesn't seem to increase.
So it's suspicious of what's happening to them.
Yeah, something nasty may be happening with the Thayan people.
And the monsters, maybe?
Don't know. So Rocus continues his poking around. Since you got such a high roll, you're able to find a document that says basically Xanaphia has ordered that a large number of the Thayan prisoners be exterminated and others to be teleported to her factories to be used as experiments in her mana disease research.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of things that you could make public that might increase or decrease their public image and cause more strife within the company and make people doubt the intentions, the good intentions of the ATC. And you're able to recover a bunch of these documents and take them back with you.
Very good.
Okay. So next, I see. You and Harbeck were gonna go together. Oh no, yeah. What was it, Harbeck? What was your thing you wanted to do? I know Icy was gonna try to use her insight to think about what Xanaphia is up to. What was Harbeck? What did you want to do for your first one?
For my first one, I'm thinking to try to go to the Feyworld. If Richie's or Rocus is, if Rocus is off at there, maybe I can. Fraxina should probably be able to guide me there without any trouble.
No, I think it's fine. The Rocus can get in and out and come back and help you. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go let's do Icy's next.
Icy says she wants to meet with Galewin, see if she can get him to help her.
Yeah, and okay. So Icy, do you know anybody who's familiar with the ATC that you think could help you as an ally?
Well, Galewin, because he's.
I mean, in recruiting Galewind. Or getting information from him. I guess you're not really trying to get him. Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't the Emerald Enclave have a mole? Would that be helpful?
That's true. I have an idea though. I think you had expressed this idea in the meeting, so I think Celise, who had worked alongside Xanaphia in her labs, she's very familiar. She's the most familiar with Xanaphia that you know. Along with her and Sid, I think you'd have a good idea of trying to figure out what she can do.
Yeah,
so
I'd like to.
You have I see you have a +9 to insight, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get an extra +1 with Celise helping you. So that'd be a +10.
Okay.
Okay, so you're able to, after helping Rocus down there in Waterdeep, you're actually in the same city that you need to be in to talk to Sid. So you're in the right place. And so after helping Rocus infiltrate and spy on the ATC, you pay a visit to Sid at his home and interview him about Xanaphia's recent activities. So go ahead and roll with a +10.
I rolled a 10 plus 10 is 20.
Great. That's a second success. So he tells you all kinds of things that she's been up to, but the one that stands out to you is that it seems that she's kind of plateaued in her pursuit of magic knowledge, and it seems she's kind of recently turned to an interest in extending her life. She's quite old. She's over 400 years old now, and she knows that eventually even an elf's long lifespan will end, but she seems to be trying to look for ways to gain everlasting life, or at least the extended lifetime. And as he describes their forays into Thay territory, where the necromancers used to rule supreme, it occurs to you that she may be looking for ancient necromantic tomes that would explain how to become a lich.
Say that again. Ancient what?
Books and magical knowledge.
What's a leech?
A lich. A lich. Lich. It is a undead wizard. Basically, what they do is, in order to keep their soul from going into the afterlife, liches will extract their soul from their body and keep it within a magic item called a phylactery. And in tying it to the physical world, they're able to live indefinitely. It has been said that the leader of the Red Wizards of Thay, who the ATC defeated, was a lich.
So that means if they destroyed him, they had to have found whatever his object was.
Well, they were able to beat them back, but they weren't able to she wasn't able to get free reign to explore the country of Thay. The ATC were able to defeat their armies, but they didn't take over the country.
So the lich that was in charge is still probably around somewhere.
No, but they were not able to recover his knowledge, his books, and his notes. It's unknown where that stuff was.
Okay. This is good information for luring her. That is something that would motivate her to come looking for it.
Yeah, and it sounds like the only place that would reasonably exist would be in Thay. There could be other places that have information on necromancy and how to become a lich, but it's very well known that most of the research into necromancy took place over in the east.
The fact
as
that
it
she is so okay.
yeah. Anything else?
The fact that she is so old, is some of her strength waning?
Um, as far as from what Sid describes, it doesn't seem that her power is waning. And as you know that you know from talking to Rocus, who's also an elf, you know that elves will like maintain their youthful bodies basically uh, without degradation up until the point where they die. Like only within the last year or so of their lives do they finally start to kind of deteriorate. So it doesn't seem she's in danger of physically getting weaker or anything. But
Okay.
it seems that she seems to be very confident that she's learned so much about magic that there's um she's gonna have to like create her own magic, her own spells and her own things. She seems like she's confident that she's learned all there is to learn. That
Okay.
she needs to create her own magic from going forward.
Are you aware of any sort of peculiar habits that she has?
She likes smoking.
Uh,
Looking what?
She smokes cigars and cigarettes that they manufacture over in Eglarund.
okay.
You guys are aware of that already. You've seen her smoking and you found her cigar collection in her mansion.
Okay. What is her ultimate goal?
So from your insight check, like the ultimate goal, as far as you can see, the only things you're aware of really is the new information is that she may want to become a lich in the future,
Okay.
in order to not die. Uh, but other than that, it seems that she's been content with doing experimentation into mana, and along with the ATC, they're very interested in finding a way into the Feywild so that they can drain the Feywild of more natural magic energy in order to um, create the mana gems and other mana technology in order to gain more power for the ATC and more money and power for Xanaphia to do whatever research and things she wants to do. Right now she's like, she's working for the company that can provide her with all the resources she needs to going forward to do just about anything she wants with creating new magic spells and uh, making new strides forward in the what you might call the technology of magic.
Okay. Some of her top abilities, her strongest abilities.
So Sid doesn't seem to know much about that. So
Oh,
just to say here, we have to limit this at some point to your role was to find out what she's looking to do.
okay.
So you've basically found that.
Thank you, Sid, for your information. This is quite helpful.
He says he's glad to be of help. He does also let you know that he has been it has been a very unpopular project because of the mana tech, but he has using traditional enchanting techniques, he has actually created an airship that can fly around and doesn't require mana tech, but it's taken him the past maybe 15 years very slowly working on it to just create a single ship. But he says that he'd be willing to give you a ride one day if you want.
I think I would love that. And can we count on you to help us with that, with your wizard powers in defeating Xanaphia?
So he says he's currently working for the ATC still. He's not sure if he wants to make that jump, but he's willing to listen. Maybe he can come to Neverwinter and have talk to you guys some more in the future.
Okay. Thank you for leaving the door open.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to do a follow-up roll later to try to recruit him, you can try to do that.
Okay.
So let's go to Harbeck, Icy, and Rocus, and Asmioth. You guys fly back to Neverwinter to assist Harbeck. He wants to go to the Feywild and try to convince the fairies or whoever you can find there to help you guys. So this role will be for getting them as allies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm trying to persuade them to become allies.
Okay, cool. So
that gives
yeah, you guys go back to Torale, and Rocus. Now you're more familiar with your Eladrin powers. You're able to locate the entrance to the Feywild and figure out how to get yourself there. And you think that you'll be able to get Harvick through as well. But you think there's a potential that if things go wrong, you could go in there and get lost. And because of the way the time flows differently, that it might you might not be able to get back right away. So there's some potential danger here. Okay, so now we're gonna this is, even though it's not directly related, we're gonna have this roll depend on Harbeck's persuasion roll. Let me see what that is again.
+6.
Yeah, and persuasion is charisma based. Okay, so Harbeck is going to kind of not only use this charisma check here to it's not only for convincing whoever you guys find, but it's also your Rocus and Harbeck are kind of assisting each other in the magic of getting into the Feywild safely. Okay? So this one roll is covering it all.
That's one roll. Okay, so I roll one.
Yeah,
one
you
plus
roll.
six.
You're just gonna roll a d20 plus your 7 persuasion, and then we'll see the outcome.
+7.
That's what I see. Do you see +7 there?
I thought I had +6. Wait a minute.
You leveled up.
Yes, it. I don't know if it's from your level up, but I see a +7 charisma check there.
Okay, then I rolled an 11 +7 is 18.
18. That is another success. Very good. So, you guys are able to enter the Feywild, and with Rocus's survival skills, you're able to track your way through the very dense and confusing alien forest of the Feywild, and you're able to discover a village full of Eladrin elves and fairies. You guys ask basically who's in charge, and they bring you to their leader for you guys to talk with them. And they are convinced by your explanation that the ATC of the material plane is planning to make incursions into the Feywild and start draining it of magic and destroying the forest, which the Eladrin elves are extremely unhappy to hear. And you're able to provide them with some information. They don't seem to be super interested in your documents and things, but they do take it seriously. And they agree to become your allies and want to help you to protect the Feywild. And Rocus, for you personally, this is the first time you've ever seen Eladrin, which is what you have discovered, that you are your mother was an Eladrin. So I think this would be a big moment for Rocus.
Yeah.
As you share information about your mother that you know, it turns out that she was the one who took down the demon lord Grotst, but she was killed in the battle. She died of her wounds on the material plane. And she was entombed along with one of the severed body parts of Grotst. But you're the son of a great hero. So they're excited to meet you.
I sign autographs.
Is could be the entombment where the sarcophagi are around the Graf's body part?
Right. You guys have learned before that there were multiple tombs like that. The one that you guys discovered in Torley. There was one over in Aglarond, which is where they got the body part of Grotst and the Eladrin mummies, which they used to create Seraphim and Rocus. But yes, you have gotten a success here, and they are willing to come into the material plane to help you. So you guys are now friends with them. If you would like to do some follow-up roles later to interact with them more, you can do that. But for now, you guys go back to Blizzard for another meeting and let them know what you guys have discovered. And so you guys are in another Blizzard meeting. So what do you guys want to do to proceed from here? What's our next step?
I just wanted to let them know that I talked with Sid Galewind, who works for the ATC, but he's not happy with Xanaphia and what she's been doing. And he said one of the things that she's interested in that would motivate her is that she's looking for the Red Wizard's Book of Knowledge. Does anybody know where it might be located?
Well, there were so the Lord Justicar of the Church of Tyr and the other priests and his scholars from the church, they think they might have the most information for that, so they step forward and say that when they were helping the ATC take out the necromancers, they had multiple strongholds within Thay, but there could be hidden places as well. And they recall that the leader of the Red Wizards was a lich, and that they had to, in order to defeat him, they had to find his phylactery, because his soul was not in his own body. He kept his soul separately. So if you couldn't really kill his physical body, he would keep returning to life as long as the phylactery was intact. So they had to find his lair where he had kept it, and that the the priests destroyed all the books that they could come across, but they suspect that there could be more information on how to become a lich in some other hidden stronghold somewhere.
Would the library have that knowledge? Would there be a book maybe in the library?
No, they said that any book that explains how to do necromancy is illegal and destroyed. So, in Neverwinter, they wouldn't keep something like that.
Okay.
This is taboo magic, black magic, stuff that's not acceptable to civilized places such as Neverwinter.
Do you have any idea where we might find black magic? What's a phylactery? I'm confused as to what that is.
Okay,
Just an item.
It's like a magic necklace basically, and
Oh.
instead of having your soul in your body, you put your soul into it. So if someone kills your body, you don't die.
Okay.
And you
But it
don't.
doesn't have to be on your body, does it?
Nope, it can be anywhere. It can be
Would any,
buried under the ground.
okay, and in that phylactery would be this knowledge.
No, not
No,
but a place that you might hide a phylactery is somewhere you might also hide your texts and things.
Okay.
But the one that they did find, they destroyed everything there because they didn't want more people to become liches. So if there is another source of this knowledge, it's likely somewhere hidden in Thay, some place not uncovered.
Okay.
But if someone wants to make an expedition into Thay to search for such a thing, that might be helpful.
Yes.
Any other ideas?
I could make copies of my documents and have them authenticated and distribute them.
Once again, the Church of Tyr, they said that for any rational person who understands the way that zone of truth and such things work, that anything that they authenticate within the Church of Tyr would be accepted as truth by most reasonable people.
So
Only trouble is now there's a lot of unreasonable people.
That's true.
yeah, they don't have the Trump turds that live there.
Make Waterdeep great again. When you guys were in Waterdeep, you noticed a lot of people wearing those hats.
Yeah.
Seemed like a lot of the general public in Waterdeep were pretty on board with the ATC. Even though they were living in slums.
Hey, Rocus, you think you could get your Rat Pack people to start distributing those things and doing a campaign, against it?
I don't see why
They'd be,
not.
if you went and asked them, you might be able to, convince them that it's worth their while doing that,
Yeah.
because they'd be good at that, and that'd be just the kinds of non-rational people, or the kinds of people that the Rat Pack would be really good at convincing.
They've got all
Also,
these
what's
authenticated documents circulating around the place.
uh Harold, your friend from the back when you were doing the search for the vampire, he's also at the meeting, and he says, I think, yeah, the rat pack would probably be really useful for sneaking into places and things. I don't know about distributing documents, but you guys know the uh what's the guy's name? The cheese maker, George, right? Wasn't it? Bill.
Bill.
Yeah.
Bill.
He's quite.
I think if
He's well thought of in the scar.
and he could wrap the cheese and all of these in the paper, so people, when they unwrap their cheese, would be able to read it.
That's a funny idea.
But you could just post them here and there.
Sure.
But if it's then the information gets out without it being so blatant. Like if people buy cheese and they unwrap it and they read the document, they have the information, and maybe it won't get back to the ATC that these documents are floating around.
Yeah, I hadn't considered the ATC would be probably, if we're posting these documents publicly, they're gonna be pretty surprised about that.
Yeah. So I'm thinking Bill would know who to pass this information on to, because he would have his regular customers and sort of know their leanings.
Well, it might make a better whisper campaign.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the Rat Pack is more expertise is not being noticed, right?
Yeah. And the thing there, though, is that if the people that are starting it can say that that it was reliable information from a Church of Tyr document, firsthand knowledge, that this necromancer menace from the east is a crock of shit.
Okay, so yeah, so we have an idea for getting this information out to the public to stop support of the ATC. Take it to their hit them in their customers, hit them in their wallet.
Yeah.
So interesting idea. Any other thoughts on what else we can do to gain allies or power or hurt the ATC in any way? So out of game, we have an idea for Rocus and Icy, seems like, but I don't think we had one for Harbeck.
Well, I was thinking about going to the library and interviewing wizards and things like that. If Xanaphia, probably she's that old and that well known, she's probably has legendary powers.
Okay.
And every legend I know of, and we're talking about starting with Achilles and his magic, being able to withstand anything except his heel, and Arthur having Excalibur, going up into modern days with Wyatt Earp had the buttline special, and his favorite weapon was a shotgun. That if you go through all the legends and things, Rocus already found out that, just by looking at her, that she has magic missiles and the fireball thing. So a little bit of research, I should be able to know just about everything she can do in a battle.
Okay, so this sounds like you could do a history check on researching various ways to try to find out what kind of combat strength she has.
Yeah, offense and defense.
Cool. Okay, I think that sounds reasonable. So let's go ahead and do some more rolls. the meeting is adjourned and you guys are sent off to do your things. So let's start with Rocus. What was your idea, or did you want to try to
Successful I am in exposing the ATC's nasty bullshit with the necromancers, and that they're got slaves working, and they're experimenting on prisoners. People are disappearing, being nasty things are happening to them.
Okay. And Icy, did you want to like try to find out where the necromancy stuff could be?
Sure.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do Rocus's first. So Rocus is gonna work towards
I rolled it doing the thing so you guys can see it. I rolled a nat 20.
natural 20. What
Yep.
did you roll on though?
Or you said I was rolling for my success in exposing them.
Yeah, but what was the did you do a dexterity roll or what?
I don't know. You'd have
You
to
just
tell me
rolled a
what.
you just rolled a die?
Yeah, I just rolled the die. I didn't know that you needed to pick what it was.
Yeah, you should pick what it is first, but since you rolled a 20 and we said that 20s would be automatic successes, then it doesn't really matter what you were gonna add to it. I would say it'd probably be one of your worst stats, which would be probably like persuasion or something like that.
Yeah,
But you rolled a 20, so
I did.
you're able to do it with the help of Bill and the people of the Scar. You're able to start a movement within Neverwinter that spreads down to Waterdeep. You're able to, using you have access to teleportation and flying allies, so you're able to spread information to other cities as well. And yeah, you're able to start a kind of smear campaign against the ATC that is very reliable. So lots of people are believing it.
Effective.
It's very effective. Yeah, it's easy to fact check, basically. Those who are not just believing in whatever they hear from the town crier, people who go to check up on it, whether it's accurate or not, are surprised to find that it is. And others who like conspiracy theories are into it as well. So that was another success.
So that's 4 successes for us.
Yep, 4 successes. Just need 2 more. Let's see, for Harbeck, let's have you do your history check. Anybody you want who you think would be helpful in helping you research wizards?
The librarian. I'm not sure where it is in my notes, but there's a librarian at the I think it's the Academy, Starshine Academy, something like that.
No, it's not that one, but I know what you're talking about.
A house
Okay.
of knowledge?
It's in the House of Knowledge, yeah.
Okay. So I would think that would be a person to help me.
Okay, sure.
So then
So far your allies that you've used is Solis, and this will be the second ally, as far as I'm keeping track of.
Didn't Richie use the
He
dragon?
didn't use the plus from the dragon. He used Icy's
okay.
stuff.
Okay, so let's see. I would roll. Now I've got the
You can get a +1, and then I think you have +5 to
+5, so
history.
+6.
Yeah, +6.
16 plus 6 is 22.
Okay, that's another success.
Success number 5.
Yep. Okay, so within the House of Knowledge, you go pay a visit to Vika Valon, the librarian, and you guys kind of let her in on the situation, and that you're looking for like as much information on Xanaphia as possible. What she's capable of doing in a fight and what she's done in the past. You guys enlist the High Sage Thad Kazan's help as well. So I'll write House of Knowledge as your ally here. And yes, what was the total number again? 22?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty good. High number. Let's see. I'll read you a little bit of Xanaphia's stuff that you're able to find. She was born in 992 DR. She was the daughter of a mage named Zaros Donadel, who was working under King Grander Olisine. By 1129, she and other mages had staged a coup and taken over the kingdom of Aglarond. They instated a magocracy to rule the lands, and after their defeat by the Red Wizards in the 1380s, and because of the public's distrust of mages, she accepted a position working within the ATC as a way to maintain control without being a public figure. Around 1410, she started developing mana reactors to draw energy from the planet. This is more stuff that you would know already. And but around 1420, she was experimenting with resurrecting Eladrin and so on. So as you find out more about her, you get into the history of the ATC a bit. This stuff is probably not super relevant, but you find out about Augustus Marcellus and his what do you call opposite of a predecessor? Successor. A successor, Septian and Octavian. And it seems that Augustus, the original founder of the ATC, was a pretty decent guy. He was a smart businessman who he stopped the incursion of Thay into Aglarond and beat back the necromancers, and with the help of Xanaphia, they were able to secure the kingdom there. And after his death, Xanaphia stayed on in the hundreds of years, helping his children and his children's children to lead the ATC. And you're able to find different descriptions of battles that she took part in. But most of the accounts of what she was able to do are old. So she hasn't been in open combat too much until current day, where the ATC is heading into battle within the next, within this week that you guys are fighting. So let me give you some of her abilities that she would have had for a long time.
Well, we know she can do magic missiles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with Wizard, my magic missiles, it sits there and says that I start out with 3, but after I get anything past level 2, that I can
well, magic missiles are very simple. It's just 1d4 plus 4, and how many spell slots you have, you can cast that many missiles, and they automatically hit, and that's about it.
No, it's not because it says that for after I get past level 2, each time I use a slot, I can add another magic missile.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Okay, so for is that the same for magicians?
Yes, that's just how the magic missile spells work. If you cast it in 7th level, you get 7 missiles.
Okay, then we know what level she's at then by the number of
Not
magic
necessarily.
missiles she
You know
fired.
that she's at least at whatever level it was. How many missiles did she shoot out? Rocus, you had that, right?
It was like 12 or so, like it was a ridiculous amount.
I think it
He
will.
shot 8 on 2 turns.
So that's 16.
No, that's per turn.
That means she has 8th level spells.
Okay.
But when I had magic missiles, I could only do 7. It didn't matter what my level was at. You said.
A wand, though.
That's
It's a
because you were
wand.
using a wand. She's doing it by herself.
Okay.
But yes, Harvey, you're right that was a way to find out at least her minimum level that she could have. Just as you know, the highest level spell that anyone can have in D&D is 9th level. So she's got at least 8th level spells.
Okay.
So as you do research about her, you find out that she has in the past used many spells in combat. So she has cantrips that she has been witnessed using, which are Fire Bolt and Shocking Grasp. She has been seen using, you already know, Magic Missile and Flying, as well as Teleport. Mage Armor is one that you find that she knows. Misty Step. One that you find that is interesting is Counterspell. She can actually, if she sees you casting a spell, she can snuff it out before you can even finish the spell.
Is that an action?
That is a spell, so let's see. I think it's a reaction. Yeah, it's a reaction.
The reaction.
Yep,
We don't have reactions though, right?
you do.
I do?
People do. Whenever you prepare an action that uses a reaction.
Okay.
Harvick has his shield, which he uses as a reaction. She has a spell called Banishment. Able to send people into other planes of existence.
Would that work if the pole is up?
No. She also has a spell called Cone of Cold, which does cold damage, and there is information about her spying on people using a spell called Scrying.
I could actually get that I could get that this time now that I'm leveled up, scrying.
Oh. So yeah. As for her current combat abilities, you're not sure, but it seems that she's over in... You've heard rumors that she's over in Aglarond, gearing up for the battle, so she may be in combat soon. Someone might be able to go watch her fight. That's about all you get from your research on Xanaphia. So we have one final roll here for the first week. If you get a success here, then the first week has been won.
Okay. I guess that
think that was Icy looking for necromancy stuff.
Yeah.
So who do you think would help you with that? Using
Maybe
teleportation and flying, you're able to get over to Thay. So you don't have to worry about that.
I guess somebody in Faye then. I forget the name of.
I mean, you
Wasn't
can
there a-
bring someone with you, so.
I guess I'll bring Rocus.
How's he gonna help?
Yeah, he can't.
Well-
Well, I guess, yeah, he could help. I'll say he can help with, like, tracking and stuff, but you'll just get, You'll still just get a.
Or would it, or maybe bring Sid along or somebody from the Blizzard.
Well, what are you looking for? What kind of expertise are you looking for? I can help suggest someone.
Somebody who might know where the Red Wizard, his book of knowledge, might be hidden. And
Okay,
if his
how about you take one of the other paladins from the church?
sure.
So the ally here will be the Church of Tyr. Okay, so I think this will be a role that you're not particularly good at, but not terrible either. So searching for information on the past and where to look in the east, I think that would be another history check. You have a +4 for history, and then someone at the church is helping you, so you have a +1 on top, so that'd be a +5.
And I rolled a 9 for a total of 14.
14. Let's see if that's a success or not.
I think it should be because it says for each success we.
Yeah, but you don't know the number that you're rolling over.
But it says each win lowers the skill challenge rating. So we've already
No,
had.
you haven't gotten a win yet, though. You've only gotten these successes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But let me see. I think that is enough. Yes. So 14 was just enough to get a success.
Good.
Okay, so you're able to with the help of the church, you're able to uncover a previously hidden kind of mage's bunker, and you do find some necromantic tomes, books, and such. You don't find information specifically on how to become a lich, but you do find necromantic stuff, and you have this underground bunker that was the workshop of a necromancer. So
Where is it?
It is a legitimate place that she might be interested in.
Where is it?
In Thay. Which is the place they're attacking currently. You've snuck behind enemy lines and found it. So, using flying and teleporting, you're able to get in and out back to Neverwinter.
Okay, and I'll scoop up all the books and take them with me.
Okay, you want to bring them back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything else in the bunker that looks? I'm just whatever's in the bunker. I'm just gonna bring it all back.
Okay. Yeah, you can't really. You're not familiar with wizard magic or necromancy, so you don't know exactly what you're bringing. But you get a bunch of stuff. You get everything that's not nailed down, and bring it back to Neverwinter. The Church of Tyr is not happy about it, but they know you're trying to lure Xanaphia back, but they want to destroy all that stuff as soon as possible.
Well, and plus I want to have a wizard look at it and explain it to us
Okay.
before we do destroy it.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, you're able to get it, and that is 6 successes, which means you win the first week of the skill challenge.
Okay.
So now that means week 2 will drop down to easy difficulty. You guys are having the upper hand against the ATC. So now you just need 3 successes before 3 failures for the next week.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So you've successfully got through the first week. That went a lot slower than I expected, but we did spend about an hour explaining everything. So
Yeah.
that's fine. Not a big deal. But yeah, you guys are on a route to having a very successful outcome where you can sneak attack Xanaphia and stuff. Okay,
Good.
so we'll end the session there.
Okie
Okay.
dokie.
Thanks,
Thank
Amy.
you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.